Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, December 11th at 11:08 a.m. My other video from last night is still uploading, and it's still uploading, and it kept resetting throughout the night for whatever reason. So I feel like I'm freezing cold. I'm cold, and so it's now 11:0. Well, just turned 11:09 a.m. It was 11:08 when I started, and I feel like a dummy now, but at the same time, I feel relieved. Well, I don't know where to start, but I'm on my computer, so my video is probably gonna be definitely longer than 30 minutes, but I'm gonna try to make it shorter than 2 hours. This particular video. So I'm so cold. Um, because they have the fan on up here, but the strings are thin and too short, and I'm afraid that I might accidentally pull the fan out of the ceiling. The fan is on, so I don't know. This is what I do. I'm a cover myself with these blankets right here. So here's what's going on. You know how with this gang stalking, people would think you're paranoid because you end up expecting the worst sometimes, because the worst sometimes a lot of time happen to you. So I feel a relief, but at the same time I feel like a dummy. But I'm glad I feel like a dummy and feel a relief. That so here's what happened. Come to find out, the people who called me from New Orleans to question me about, the biological gay brother Mark, um, come to find out, I feel like a dummy because I feel like, I guess I was too anxious and I just jumped to conclusion and just was thinking all kinds of things, you know, without, you know, um, waiting patiently and figuring out everything, you know, in advance. I mean, before speaking, so I spoke too soon. And so, because of the videos full of lies that my twin sister made about me, and she made it like as if it was this new information that she found out about what happened during Hurricane Katrina. So I was assuming that she was in touch with got back in touch with other biological family members. So for her channel, videos full of lies about me, and it seems like more than one family member is making up lies and smear campaign about me. I thought she was the only one. So I thought she got back linked up with the biological family members. And I only watched two of her videos. Well, actually three, but I didn't hear the dialogue of the third one. And I saw some of the comments because people had advised me to not get myself riled up or upset, or don't go back and look at her videos. Um, they were saying don't go look at her videos and make myself all upset and stuff, and yeah, telling me just ignore it. So I had only watched two of the videos. And then the third video that I watched, I didn't hear the dialogue, but I saw her throwing up all those Illuminati hand signs and stuff. Excuse me. So well, I thought she linked back up with the biological family. And so when I got a call from New Orleans phone number saying that, a case number about the biological gay brother Mark, I jumped to conclusion and freaked out and assumed that, that it was a lawsuit that he was trying to file against me. So, because I wasn't getting much of any information, like these people call me from this phone number with New Orleans area code, and they finally called again today, because when they called and left a message about a case number sometime last week, I think it was last Friday, and so they called and left a message, and then at the time, that same number told me that number was not accepting incoming calls or whatever that means, because they said that they weren't accepting incoming calls, and they didn't even tell me the company name or anything like that. So I'm thinking that it was like, a law office, or I thought he was trying to file a lawsuit against me because of me talking about the whole family, of what was going on. And I figured that he would go great lengths to do that. But then again, I'm like, how could you do this to your own sister? So then, when I answered the phone this morning, it was a guy who called me, and he was trying to get in contact with Mark. And when today's Mark's birthday, my biological Aunt Yvonne's birthday, and my biological grandma Ruby's birthday. And so the people had called me, and he gave me the case number and this 1855 number to call. So then I called up this 1855 number because my anxiety was high, and I'm sitting here thinking, he trying to sue me from what I said on my channels, or what's going on. So, they are shocking me in the vagina with the energy weapons, trying to make me shut up. This morning, they had a gang stalker that does not live here, and I'm gonna upload the video after the video from last night is done uploading. I'm gonna upload the video, a short 30-second video of this gang stalking. It was a white female, and I peeked out the window. I shouldn't have done that, because I should have just ran out there with my phone on. I should have just ran out there with my phone in my hand already. But I had on that difficult dress to wear, and I should have changed clothes. But I had on that difficult dress to wear, and I call it difficult because it's one of the dress I had on, well, in the previous video, in the other video, well, what you saw me wearing last night, and they call it dashiki dress, and it dragged down to the floor, but I don't want it to touch the floor or the ground. So me trying to hold the dress up, is a big problem. Well, by the time I ran outside, it took me 30 seconds or so to try to pull up my dress and hold it, and then me having OCD and trying to unlock the door because I felt like the door is dirty. And me when I ran outside, it was a white female in a like 2012 model. Uh, I can't. It's not green, but it's like a brownish greenish color. Toyota Camry, and she drove by just to blast very loud music, and it sounded demonic. And so, but she was already driving off where you couldn't see her. White females usually don't blast loud music like that, but she was doing it for perp reasons, and she came to the back all the way, and she was sitting there, and I'm like, I fucking know it's been most other than the noise, the alarms going off. I fucking know that people don't come here, haven't been coming here, blaring loud music. So I knew that was perp activity, and she does not live here. I promise you, she doesn't stay here. How the fuck she knew exactly where I was? Yeah, because of gang stalking. And so, I have the audio evidence at least. And if you're not guilty, why the fuck would you drive off when I got you on film? If you're not doing anything wrong, or if you're not committing a crime, why the fuck would you drive off? Tell me. So, they're gonna have people trying to gaslight and be like, how do you know she don't stay here? How you know this? How you know that? I know what these perps do. So that made me really irritated and upset because, again, me not having the sense or maturity to drive, and everybody who has possession of a car has more sense than you. It seems like you have to sell your soul to the devil just to get a raggedy car nowadays. So anyway, it's just about to that point that you would have to sell your soul to the devil for one small tiny little flake of potato, mashed potato, or dry mashed potato, or sell your soul to the devil just for one little small little kernel of corn. It's where it's gonna be, so anyway, I hate how I'm being hindered and deprived from driving and having a car. And it's not fair. So what else is going on? So back to the story. So when I called the 1855 number trying to investigate what's going on, excuse me, they had this lady answer the phone, and she refused to give me that much information, and she was rude as fuck. Very fucking rude. Very nasty. Nasty and rude enough that I got off the phone, mumbling, oh, rude ass bitch and stuff like that, So she refused to give me much of any information, and when she tried to say, when I kept asking her what's the name of the company, she acted like it was a secret, and she kept saying JLG, but I'm like, what? And she didn't want to say it clearly and slowly, in a way I can understand, So then, when I asked, what is this concerning? And she acted like that she had to tell him. But like when I try to ask questions, she's like, well, you don't even have the case number. And this and like very, very fucking rude as hell. You don't even have the case number. Why am I supposed to give you any information? And I told her the case number, and she still didn't want to help me. I'm like, I do have the case number. It's right here. So they acted like it was some freaking secret was going on. So I looked up the JLG, and it come up that I guess it's forklifting or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell do they have to do with forklifting? I know my brother wouldn't be associated with forklifting. So then um they I mean, when I looked up JLG, and I'm like, this can't be right. So then I what I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous. So then I typed in the New Orleans number. There was really no information that can be found on his phone number. I Google searched that phone number, and there was nothing really to be found. I thought it could have been associated with law enforcement or something, but not law enforcement. So then I figured, well, I typed in the 1855 number, and it had Illuminati coded phone numbers. Um, Sorry, fighting out unwanted, intrusive thoughts and didn't want to blurt them out. So then when I called the 1855 number, it had Illuminati phone numbers like 7130911 or something like that. I Google searched that phone number, and it wasn't giving me much of any information at all, like less information than the New Orleans 504 number. So I'm wondering what the hell is going on. So then I um, called that 1855 number. I mean, try to call the New Orleans number again. When I called the New Orleans number again, they I called the New Orleans number again, and they said that the phone number does not exist. Like when I called, they called me from that number, and I called directly, back, and they said that the phone number is not in service or something like that. You know, so I'm wondering, like, well, how the hell is a number that's not in service gonna call me and tell me about some case number or something? That's the same number that last week they tried to say that, you know, they're not accepting calls, but now, they call me and I call back, and now they say the number is not in service. So then when I called the 1855 number back again, it was a girl that was much nicer, but at the same time she didn't want to give me much information. They said that they had some papers to mail Mark. They said they had papers to mail him or something like that. So then, I didn't want to call Mark because I figure all this stuff is going on. And I almost didn't remember his phone number by heart. So I had to test dial it, and all it took was once, and I had the right number. But you know how it is. I mean, so I apologize. I'm sorry. I was freaking out and thought he was trying to, file a lawsuit against me or whatever, do something to me. Because you know how it is with the, people that's in on your gang stalking. So if he wasn't trying to file, well, I apologize. So I, when I was trying to ask the people, I said, was this a law firm or is this a court? They didn't even want to tell me what they were. you know, what kind of, and they just said, oh, we just handle complaints. But like, I said, well, like, what kind of complaints? They said, we just handle complaints. That's all they said, you know. So they were saying that Mark himself filed a complaint or something. I don't know. So when I called him and told him happy birthday, he acted like he was excited to see me. With narcissistic abuse, you don't know if it's fake or real excitement. He said that, the family hasn't heard from me and this and that, whatever, you know. So this, I mean, what the type of stuff he'll do is he'll ask you all kinds of personal questions, like aggressively demand an answer for your personal business, but they'll keep, their personal business, you know, secret from you, or they refuse to tell you what's going on in their life. But I'm surprised he even told me where he worked at. He usually never tell me where he worked at. But I mean, so he told me what company he works for, and he said he'd been doing it for a couple of years. So when I told him about, because at first I was going to call that retard Ramona and have her, because I knew her number, and her number never changes. She prides herself on that, so her number would never change. And so I'm surprised that I still got that number, you know. So he was all, well, I'll call it fake nice on the phone, and acting like he was fake excited to see me, narcissistic abusers and their fake concern. And at first I wasn't gonna tell him much of anything, but you feel pressured and put on the spot. You know, you feel pressured and put on the spot of, it's something like a narcissistic abuser, what they're asking you, and you feel put on the spot, like as if you're obligated to answer or respond, or like you owe them an answer. Well, he asked me where I'm at, and I said I'm in Florida. Well, my twin sister and the biological brother Wyatt, they know I'm in Pensacola. So I figured that I might as well tell him too. And I figure if anything, in case anything happened to me in Pensacola, you know, even though they wouldn't give a damn, but if anything happened to me in Pensacola, you know, at least they'll know where to locate me, and even though I'm in a hotel room, but I didn't tell him that, but I am, you know, generally homeless on the streets. And, he acted like he was all concerned about that. And I don't want, like, I don't want to, even if he offered, I don't want to go back out there to Texas and stay with him. I'm surprised he told me that the biological brother Wyatt is living with him. He told me Wyatt is living with him. So, I think, I don't even know if my twin sister's in contact with Wyatt. I'm desperate to go back and watch that video where my twin sister said, "What? My great niece was just 5." So I think I did clarify on my other channel what truly happened with my great niece. So another lie and smear campaign. And I'm like, wow, if the girl's a grown woman now and they bring that shit up and they twist the story because they know they're criminals. So, well, so Wyatt is now living with Mark. And, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to go back to Texas anyway, So, surprised that Mark was any kind of nice, But you know, he I'm surprised when he talked a little longer. It seemed like he just wanted to know information about me because he talked a little longer than usual. Because he had the phone conversation. How the hell you have the phone conversation? You try to keep it under 45 seconds. Like he would call me up, and the phone conversation would be under 45 seconds, and every conversation, and it wouldn't be many, and the conversations would last under 45 seconds. So I'm surprised that this conversation lasted 9 minutes and 39 seconds. But even then, he was kind of rushing to get off the phone and said he was going to call me back in an hour. I'll probably never hear from him. Freaking liar. Um, so it's been an hour, well, almost an hour. Still haven't heard back from him. And that other video is still uploading. That should have uploaded around 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now 11:34, and it's got 63 more minutes remaining on that other video of me talking about my biological cousin Blake that got shot and killed. So anyway, so Mark made it like he didn't know what the hell was going on either. He supposedly didn't know, and he's like, "Well, I haven't been in why would they do that? I haven't been in New Orleans, in years." And he's like, "Remember when we went to go get the ice cream?" I said, "Well, yeah, the frozen yogurt and pizza I treated everyone to, So it was like, I'm sorry that I'm just trying to remember everything that was. I'm not going to say everything that was said, but trying to remember, everything that was said, And he asked me if I heard from my twin sister, and he asked me if I heard from the foster mom and stuff like that. And I haven't really heard, but I didn't even tell him about the YouTube or social media feud that me and my twin sister are having. But I told him I'm homeless on the streets, and he said he hated to see me out there like that, whatever. And he said, "Well, with the money you got, you can't go get no housing." And I'm like, well, and I kept trying to tell him, my situation is difficult to explain, because I didn't want to tell him. He'll be quick to make sure you get you locked up in a mental institution. So I read online about stalking in general, throughout researching things, and people say that people are more likely to believe you if there's one person stalking you, or even a couple of people stalking you. But if you talk about a whole community people stalking you, that's when people will think you're a parent. People said that if they're with the gang stalking versus regular stalking, that if you report that a whole bunch of people are gang stalking you, then they're gonna think you're insane and crazy or whatever. But they're more likely to believe you if it's just one person stalking you. So I briefly told him about Alex, stalking him. I didn't say gang stalking, but I just said he's stalking, following me around and telling me police got me under surveillance, and that he tried to get me to sell out to Satan or whatever. And my brother's like, "Well, you know better than to do that." Well, I said, "I know not to do that, but I'm just saying that, he called the police on me, he'll stalk and follow me and call the police on me unprovoked and stuff like that, stalking, harassing me and stuff." So, but I didn't go into deep detail, but he kind of was eager and rushing to get off the phone. He would do that like throughout the years when he wanted to be like fake nice, wanting to ask me personal questions about my personal business, and then won't tell me much of nothing about himself, and then hurry up and, rush the phone call. But he can be on his phone with the biological sister Ramona, The biological niece, Hellface Ugly Monica, Whore Rebecca, and other relatives and whatever female friends for hours. But you got this so-called controlled relationship on how to deal with me and how to handle me, like as if I'm less of family. But then if they're so-called reasoning, oh, because you go on social media talking bad about us or whatever, um, they'll use that as their justification. I'm like, motherfucker, you've been treating me like this since, you know, for decades now. So, I don't even come with that. So, it's like I'm just revealing my personal experiences with gang stalking and everything. Those could have been perps. You know, to be honest, I was me trying to with narcissistic abuse and gang stalking. I try to, follow the code of going no contact with any family. But I doubt he's gonna call me back anyway. But it's like I gotta deal with him now that I know the truth. I gotta deal with him like how I deal with the foster mom. It seems like you gotta be obligated, like feel pressured and obligated to tell them stuff when they ask you questions stuff you didn't really want to tell them, and then when they ask you questions you try not to tell them. I guess their way of manipulating more information out of you is to trying to make like you're crazy or something, and try to make you feel bad and get guilt trip you into revealing more information about yourself that you were trying to hide from him. I should have, and he's like, oh, so what you doing with your life now? What you doing with yourself now? And this now, I'm like, well, I'm still homeless, so whatever. Um, it's like, I feel mad that those people even called me, and then they made it like it was so urgent to get this information to him, these papers or whatever. And I'm like, what is this concerning? They didn't want to tell me. But he acted like he didn't know anything about this because he said he hadn't been in New Orleans, in a long time. So, um, they said that he filed some complaint about something, you know, so or file or a case or something like that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but now I mean I'm feeling relieved that okay, great, no lawsuit or no defamation suit or anything like that. So I mean I know not to sell my soul to the devil or whatever, but you think I'm that retarded enough to do something like that? But if y'all like him telling me, oh, don't pay, not to pay attention to that. I know. I'm just telling you what he was trying to do because I know he ain't woke to the truth like I am. But narcissistic abusers who already sold their soul pretend to front like they're Christian and try to front like as if they're heavily against the devil. That's just an act. Like it showed up in my feed last night, my YouTube feed about this 9-year-old boy from New Orleans that got shot and killed over the summer, like a few months ago, back in July of this year. And the video just showed up in my recommendations. So that little 9-year-old boy got sacrificed on 7/13, July 13th. Now remember what I said about the 81855 number being associated with 713. 713 like 1855 713 0911 911. So then I don't even know, like, so then I mean, and you so badly want your family to care about you if something bad happened to you. But they might be like, oh, all that stuff she done said, or you know, oh, she expect us to care about her or whatever. But I can be silent and say nothing, and you still would not have any care if I died. You know, so um, that so the me seeing the video of the 9-year-old boy that he got shot and killed with along with two teenagers at 5 something in the afternoon back in July of this year, and the dad was crying on TV, and the tears and everything seemed genuine and legit. I mean, that's your child. But then I heard that they had an 11-year-old son that stole 22 cars. You see those Illuminati numbers. If they say he was 11 years old and stole 22 cars, then there was a 14-year-old that got out of juvenile detention. That was another one of their sons, and he got shot. And the mother of the 14-year-old, the 11-year-old, and the 9-year-old, the 14-year-old got shot, and the mom got arrested and went to jail because she got arrested and went to jail because she didn't send the boy to the hospital. So she didn't send him to the hospital, so she got arrested and went to jail. And then they had a problem, the situation with the 9-year-old son getting shot and killed. And then another video of the dad wearing a lot of red, and they said that the crocodile tears look fake at this point. And they said that and there was another female wearing like a kind of reddish, purplish, pinkish. I couldn't tell which color. It was like a red, purple, pink, all blended together, and it had a whole bunch of skulls on her shirt. And then it was another female with burgundy hair, and I'm like, well, if the mom went to jail, and this was all like a setup, and it's like nobody know, like just like with my cousin Blake, nobody knows who shot and killed this boy. And the teenage girl got shot in the stomach. Then the other boy, the 13-year-old boy, he got shot in the leg, but they supposedly were friends or something. And this happened in the 7th Ward, where my biological sister Ramona likes to watch people get shot and killed. And the day after Blake's funeral in 2016, 4 years ago, everybody went to the biological Aunt Yvonne's house. And there was another shooting. Somebody got shot and killed then. Like right by the corner store called Richards. Right by that corner store, somebody got shot and killed. It's a lot of murder in it, high murder in that area. And Ramona, she gets off on that. And it's like she worships death. But she ain't rich. She ain't rich at all. But whenever I try to cry about Blake, the night of the funeral and the next day, and Ramona didn't have any problem with Rebecca, like fake slutty cousin poor Rebecca, and drunk lady Yvonne. When they cry, it's okay. But when I start to cry, Ramona would pop me or punch me or hit me, be like, Candy, Like as if me crying and mourning my own cousin, it's an embarrassment to the family. Y'all, this whole fucking family fucked up. Very fucked up. I mean, Ramona had a problem with even my own twin sister crying over the biological mom, Frances. The foster mom had brainwashed us so heavily and so hard against the biological family. 2011 was when I woke up and found the truth researching things. And even though the biological mom, Frances, She rejected us too. Um, but still, and we had a lot of problems and things go on. After I turned 18, and the foster family abuse got worse. And then you get mad and make like we betrayed you because we went back to see the biological family. And the foster mom still wanted me to be loyal to her, even in adulthood. And I was in my 20s and like 22 years old, and they acting like they had the authority to restrict me from contacting any biological family members. You know, so the foster mom still wanted that stronghold and that control. And the biological gay brother Mark, it's like him and my twin sister, they picked up where the foster mom left at with the abuse. You know, they turned into act like they're abusers. Me, even before I realized what was going on, I tried to deprogram myself on my own before realizing the truth about what was going on. So, the foster mom's mannerisms and habits and stuff, I try to undo everything and try to just learn to be how to be myself. And you know, if the foster mom's household, if we were restricted from having real butter and they wanted us to have margarine because it was way cheaper, I'm like, well, I'm not in the foster mom's life anymore. So if I want butter, I'll have butter. But I guess she was trying to condition or program me that she would tell me there are plenty of days you're gonna be broke. And so plenty of days to be broke. Well, me being broke, I got no choice but to buy the cheapest item on the menu. Um, you know, so I got the money I got. So stuff like that. So, but anyway, the point is, well, I forgot the point of what I was trying to talk about. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I didn't get that much sleep, or maybe 2 hours of sleep this morning between 6 and 8. Before then, I got no sleep. So it seems like when I'm trying to get my ebooks written out, working on that homeless ebook, I was working hard on it on Monday night. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, little to no sleep because they know I'm working hard on me. Just talking about my homelessness experiences and its relationship to targeting. But anyway, so that's why I'm, sounding all over the place. But what I was trying to say was that New Orleans black family with the 9-year-old boy that got shot and killed. It was a Masonic ritual sacrifice. And I don't know if it was the mom or the dad who sacrificed that boy. But the dad looks wise. The dad kind of reminded me of George Floyd. And but the dad's name was Donald Bryant and the boy, his name was Devontae Bryant. So I mean, they had, even the females, they had to hold the man up. You know, I mean, I was feeling bad for the man too, but it was like a lot of high crime with the kids in the family. Like 11-year-old, how the hell does an 11-year-old child steal 22 cars? I don't get that. And those numbers, the certain numbers that the elite use or whatever. So these black Masons, they'll front like they'll go to church and they'll post up a whole bunch of Bible scriptures on social media, but then they'll tell you not to go with the devil. That's why narcissistic abusers do. Like I said, he was trying to get me to, and then you think that I did that. And before you even hear me out to say what I gotta say, I said he was trying to. I didn't say I went with it. Because if I went with it, I wouldn't still having to be asking for money for hotel rooms and doing all that. And Mark tried to ask me if he tried to ask me, am I trapped and stuck here in Pensacola? And it's like, I mean, I guess I have a way out because I have SSI and Social Security. But I'm just trying to figure out where else to go. But I know where I don't want to go. I know where I don't want to go. But, I mean, he asked me if I was trapped in Pensacola. Because we were trapped in Denton, Texas. And, I didn't want to stay there all those years. And, I guess I found ways to survive. I told him, I'm homeless and I'm surviving. I'm going to be all right. I said, I'm going to be all right. I'm surviving. But I didn't tell him I was in a hotel room. But people think that, oh, you get 800 something a month. You shouldn't be, having to ask for donations or have to ask people for money. There are plenty of people who get SSI and Social Security. And the biological sister Ramona, she condemned Sean for doing this. Like when he get it, like a lot of homeless people who get SSI and Social Security, you're homeless on the streets. There's pretty much no more. And it got worse because of COVID-19. Because people who have housing are losing their homes, and you hear about the eviction moratoriums and stuff like that. So, increase of homeless or increase of sellouts. But they got homeless sellouts too. Fake homeless perps or whatever. And the homeless druggies or whatever. I mean, the video of the noise that I'm gonna upload, because the video from last night is still uploading. It's 34 more minutes. So the video from this morning that I'm gonna show you still shows that I'm being gang stalked, perped, and harassed, and that I haven't sold out, and I'm not going to sell out. Y'all gonna have to murder me. Y'all gonna have to kill me. That you criminalize me because I won't sell my soul to the devil. But my twin sister even smear campaigned me and lied, to everybody saying that I'm a devil worshiper and I'm a demon and stuff, because the fake IDMR cult, you don't believe their lies. Oh, you're a demon, you're a satanic spirit or whatever. But it's actually them with the Antichrist spirit projecting and reversing everything onto you. So they had that man, who called me up the other day. I wish I could find it. I wish I would have never deleted that video. And then that Lisa Rubin lady forcefully ordered me to turn the comments off on the video. And I'm like, no, I want to let the comments come in. Because the perps try to control you and YouTube will automatically turn some of my comments off on certain videos. And it's like, I don't do that. Even though I get offensive comments, but I still allow the comments to come in. But if you say something perpish, I will delete your comment, or I will delete and report you for harassment. But their comments don't get taken down. YouTube let their comments stay, so I have to manually remove their comment. So So yeah, the Lisa Rubin lady, the fake deliverance lady, she tried to make it like as if like she tried to make it like as if I'm some kind of famous, because at that time, me trying to get out the IDMR cult. Excuse me. Um, Me trying to get out the IDMR cult. She tried to make like, because my video was the first suggestion, that that makes me some. She try to psych my head up and try to make it like, oh, you're famous because you're she tried to make it like that I'm famous because when you research IDMR cult, my video was the first video to pop up on YouTube. And I was getting like, and they were manipulating my views and stuff then. And they had IDMR cult members coming on there perping me and like saying insulting, harassing comments, and be like, and try to threaten me into silence by being like trying to make me shut up or try to threaten me into silence and be like, I know your twin sister Brandy, and this and that, trying to scare me, you know. So this video took under an hour, and I'm done talking about this particular specific topic. And so I'm gonna do a video on another subject. So thanks for listening, and I apologize, for my misunderstanding and reacting too soon about what's going on. You know, and I hate that Perps connected with my twin sister freaking watching this and stuff like that. But I don't want to be cool with any of my family members. I don't want to be subjected to control and abuse and restriction anymore. You try to treat me like you try to force handicap a genius. Well, I'm not a whole genius or anything, but somebody who's seen. A lot of people tell me I'm highly intelligent, but narcissistic abusers, that's what they do. They cut their eyes and be like, "You are highly intelligent." They'll cut their eyes and be like, "You are highly intelligent," but then treat me like as if I lack common sense. So I'm still a Christian going with Jesus. I got the King James Bible right here. Oh. You see that? With the these and thous. So I'll see y'all in the next few seconds. Bye.